Hello everyone and welcome back to English Valley Cafe. I see that we have some new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing and I hope that you're finding the videos here useful. If you are joining me today for the first time, welcome. My name is Anne. I'm an English teacher from the United States and I post a lot of videos here on my YouTube channel about pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary. So if you are an English learner, you want to improve your English, consider subscribing and make sure that you tap on that bell notification icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. All right, so today in our lesson, we're going to talk about very useful expressions with the word my in it. And you will hear native speakers use these expressions in daily life, and they are very, very common in spoken English. So let's get into the video. The first expression is to make up my mind. Now here you can change my to your, his, our. And to make up my mind means that you are undecided. It's hard for you to make the decision. So for example, should I buy a new car or a used car? I can't make up my mind. Now sometimes after we make our decision, we might change it. So we can change our mind. And change our mind, change your mind, change his mind. This means that to change a decision that you previously made. So for example, I changed my mind. I decided to get a new car. Okay, so when you change a decision, you change your mind. The next one is my goes blank. So when we are very nervous, or very shocked, or sometimes very angry and frustrated, we cannot think. We forget everything. So our mind goes blank. So for example, I was so nervous during the job interview. My mind went blank when he asked me about my short-term goals. The next expression is very useful. We use it a lot in our daily life, and that is, do you mind if? Do you mind if? We ask this polite question to other people when we want to check if our action is okay with them. So for example, do you mind if I sit here? Do you mind if I use your cup? Okay, so we want to make sure that the other person is okay with what we're doing. So we're asking this in a polite way. Do you mind if? Now the answer to this question can get a little bit tricky. So you kind of have to think the opposite from your typical yes/no question. So if someone asks you, do you mind if I sit here? You can answer, if you are okay with it, you can answer, no, I don't mind. Okay, so no, I don't mind. No, I don't mind. Or you can say, no, not at all. At all. At all. No, not at all. Go ahead. No, not at all. Go ahead. All right, so keep that in mind. It gets a little bit tricky with this kind of question. The next one is have a lot on my mind. And again, here you can change mine to your, to his, her, our. So when we have a lot on our mind, it means that we are very stressed, we're worried or concerned about something or about many things. So that means that we're thinking a lot in our head. There's so many things happening all at the same time. So for example, I can say I have a lot on my mind. I have to find a new place, and at the same time, I have 2 projects at work that I need to finish. So I have a lot on my mind. All right, this takes us to our next expression, and that is to take my mind off something. So when we are very stressed, we're very worried and concerned about things, we want to relax ourselves, we can take our mind off something. So for example, I do yoga and painting to take my mind off things. The next expression is very similar to take my mind off something, and this is to put my mind at ease. So when we put our mind at ease, that means that something is happening to allow us to take our mind off our concerns or our worries. So for example, I was worried about giving a presentation for the upcoming convention. But knowing that I have 1 week to prepare puts my mind at ease. All right, so I feel less worried and concerned because I know that I have some time to prepare for the presentation. I love this next expression, out of your mind, out of your mind, out of your mind. And when somebody is out of their mind, they are crazy. So for example, I can say, you bought a $500 chair. Are you out of your mind? All right, so that means, are you crazy? You bought a chair for $500? All right, so out of your mind. The next expression is come to mind or spring to mind. So when something comes to mind, that means that we think of something. So for example, if I ask you, what comes to mind when I say the word America? Like, what do you think of when you hear the word America? Let me know down in the comments. Some people might say hamburger or pizza or wide roads or traffic jams. So what comes to mind when you hear the word America? The next expression is very useful. Never mind. Never mind. And this means that, forget about it. It's not important. So if I ask you, have you seen my jacket? Oh, never mind, I found it. It's like, forget about it. I know where I put my jacket. Okay, so never mind. The next expression is keep in mind. Keep in mind. So when we keep in mind about something, we are trying to not forget about it. We try to remember. So for example, I can say learning grammar rules is important, but keep in mind that there are exceptions in English. So rules do not apply to every situation. So keep that in mind. The next expression is slip your mind or slip my mind. And this means that we forget something, like we forget to do something. For example, I had to pack her lunch, but it completely slipped my mind. That means I totally forgot about it. It slipped my mind. This next one is blow my mind. And this means that we have a strong feeling about something. This can be good or bad. So for example, it blew my mind when I found out that there were 2 mass shootings within 24 hours. Like, I was completely shocked. Okay, so it blew my mind. And here you have it. These are very useful expressions that we use in our daily life, and I'm sure that you will hear these from native speakers as well. So I hope that these will help you to understand native speakers. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and tap on that bell notification. That's it. I will see you back here next week for a new lesson.